So to cut a long story short, because we've been making these videos too long to explain simple things. The question of where does the black man comes from, or where does the white man comes from, can be answered in one sentence. The black man was the first man that God made, because Adam have the same color of the ground that he was made from. So if God made the first man from the ground, then that means it must be a black man. It is very unlikely for it to be a white man made from a black ground. I mean, which is easier to be? So the black man came from the black ground that God has made, or the brown earth, whatever it is, how you want to characterize it. We have the same color of the earth that we was made from. The white woman, on the other hand, came from the flesh and the bone of the black man. Because remember that God had took Adam's rib and flesh after putting him to sleep and composed that. He had diluted that. This one flesh and bone, he had stretched that out, diluted that, and used all of that to make a woman, which was the white woman. That's why you see the white woman with her hair also thinned out, and her complexion looks just like the bone and flesh that she was made from. So that is true genetics for you. Go figure it out. So for the white man who thinks that he's superior and who create all these things, like archaeology and science, is because you're lost. Because if you're trying to find out yourself and to go through that much to explain to people who you are, is because you're lost. We know who we are because we came from one place. We came directly from the ground. And we were the first man to be created. So anybody else that is supposed to be created has to be created from us, because God only made one man from the ground. He doesn't do a redundant thing. So when it was time for him to make Eve, he didn't make her from the ground. Because if both Eve and Adam was made from the ground, then there would be nothing else but black people on the earth. Because both of them came from the ground. But because Eve was made from the flesh and bone of Adam, she took the color of the flesh and bone, which is what you call the white man. Notice, look at their skin complexion. Look at their genetics. It is the genetics of the flesh and bone, and the reason why the hair is so long and straight is because this is the diluted. This is how far it has been diluted from the black African Negro nappy hair. The man had 13 bones, 13 ribs, 14 ribs. And God take one rib out of the 13 and make a whole woman out of it. So the whole woman, the whole body of the woman was made from this little thin this one rib. And he got 13 ribs left. So you see how far-fetched that is. See how genetic that is. And that is why they call the race that comes from the woman, because when a child is born, they're either gonna have the genetics of the woman or the man. The children who came from the genetics of the woman, which was Eve, was most unlikely the white race, and those who came in between genetics were all the other race So all the other races came out of Adam and Eve. Simple explanation. So that is all your your 10 years anthropological degree summed up in a few sentences. So then, if the black man was the first man who was made, and God created what was obviously the first white woman from the man, who is there for them to have children with? There's no such thing as a solo white race. So the white race is also the children of the black man, which lead more towards to looking more like the woman, because they had more of her genes. So then, who is superior? Where is the superior here? How can you tell me that if you come from something else, then you're more superior than the thing that you came from? That is absolute nonsense. So both the white man and the black man needs to be educated, because the black man needs to know who he is, because the white man tell you that they were the first mans created, and you believe him, and not even paying attention to the evidence in your very skin color, that you must be Adam and Adam's race, because you came directly from the ground. And so the ignorance continues, and anything that starts have to grow. So if ignorance is allowed to begin, then ignorance is allowed to continue. And this is why we have right now a world of ignorance. And the white man, the reason why the white man calls himself superior to the black man is because he feels like he's inferior. So what he have for the black man is hate. He hated the black man. And so because he hates the black man, he tries to destroy him. And the black people had been asleep for far too long. Because one of our biggest downfall as a nation is distraction. Because we don't pay attention to things. We don't put things on the table and examine them. We buy anything because of the source that they come from. And you tend to believe that the white man was superior because the white man said it. But at the end of the day, that is your downfall. That ain't nobody's fault but yours. Please look for a link in this video, because I have nothing more to say right now on this subject. Thanks a lot. Please look for a link in this video. My name is Delroy Young. Please subscribe.